Change has come. It's at the door. Everything that was true isn't true anymore. In our hands is a broken crown, and the wars that we lose mean freedom now. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Let's dance into battle, start a revolution, turn the heartbreak into evolution. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, from the ashes. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Keep marching on. 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 Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance, a chance, a chance. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Every ending is a chance to begin again. Every ending is a chance. Every ending is a chance to begin again.
The plan for living life, playing the game of life. Rules to the game of life. You will receive a body. You will learn lessons. There are no mistakes, only lessons. A lesson will be repeated until it is learned. Learning lessons does not end. There is no better than here. Others are merely mirrors of you. What you make of your life is up to you. Life is exactly what you think it is. Your answers lie inside you. You will forget all of this. You can remember it whenever you want. Mastering ourselves, being our best selves. My power, my control. Mind, body, soul, which is thoughts, wills, the things you say, and emotions. Principles: learn, grow, teach, help. Foundation: love, health, wealth, happiness. Rules: respectful, safe, responsible. Being a champion, one day at a time. Having accountability, accept responsibility for actions and performance. Culture, living our values, mastering ourselves, body, mind, soul. Excellence, being our best selves by efficiency and productivity. Leveling up in life, showing up for yourself, focus on yourself, core values, decisions, goals, and behavior. Live by, no excuses, take ownership, empower yourself to do better and be more for you. Many are here to help us be the best version of ourselves through learning and development. 2, I'm willing to do the work and you are willing to do the work. The first step to empowering you is creating a structure that helps you eliminate excuses through clarity of responsibility and process. Being a champion to create winning is by having a desire to be the best version of yourself and empowering you to do so daily. Having a better world that is a champion world is that it takes all of us. Everything is energy, vibration, and frequency, which is inside of us all and all around us. What is your energy? Low vibration or high vibration? Low vibration. Empathy, victim, helplessness, blame, negative self-talk, worry, hatred, anger, fear. High vibration. Hopefulness, courage, acceptance, happiness, self-love, gratitude, positive self-talk, trust, knowledge, abundance, forgiveness, unconditional love. Mastering ourselves. Lust, intense desire or craving, greed, excessive selfish desire. Gluttony, excessive consumption. Pride, excessive self-importance. Sloth, laziness, empathy. Envy, desiring what someone else has. Wrath, extreme anger. The unseen laws, spiritual laws you must respect. Core unseen laws. Law of reciprocity, which what you send out, energy, thoughts, actions, returns amplified. Law of authority. Spirits only respect those who know who they are. If you're confused, they dominate. Law of resonance. You attract what matches your vibration. Purity equals clear outcomes. Law of timing. Some doors open only in divine timing. Forcing it equals punishment or delay. Law of spiritual debt. Every lie, scam, or shortcut leaves a karmic invoice until it's paid by pain or repentance. It blocks flow. Law of access. Sharing sacred things with unworthy people gives dark forces access to you. Guard your spiritual intimacy. Law of sacred exchange. Don't ask for something from spirit world without giving something. Prayers, food, fire, service, truth. Law of hidden eyes. Even when no one is watching, you are seen. All thoughts and deeds echo in the spirit realms. Everyone will get exactly what they choose. 3D earth. Fear, division, anger, control, hate, AI. 5D earth. Love, unity, peace, freedom, healing, consciousness. This is the great awakening. Some bridges are beautiful when they burn. There's a calmness that takes over when you can't go back, when you've changed, when you've decided, when you've left behind a version of you that is no longer you. The end of everything is the start of anything. Welcome, I'm Alisha Quinn, and today we are going to be talking about Ascension. We are here raising up the frequency. We are ascending, that's right. We are going up into the Christ consciousness. The second coming is the Christ consciousness, and we are raising up to that level, the level of the game, because it is a game. And some of us are taking a back seat to the game, but some of us are in the game. And so, I'm in my own reality going down that straight and narrow way where, right here, right now is all that exists. I'm done with attaching myself to identities. I'm free of that. I know that I'm just here for this experience. Truly, just having this experience in this body, mastering the flesh, mastering myself, and, you know, being okay with being human, you know? So, because it is a human experience. So, as I go through my awakening journey and there's this talk about ascension, and I was like, what is this? What is ascension? And it's really been a process for me to come to really figure out this ascension thing, right? Like, is it, something that's going to happen in the world or, whatever. And truly, what I have come to find is that it's just all the stuff within us, the energies within us, and transmuting the energies and going up to the higher frequencies, being self-aware, having self-realization, right? Because our thoughts create our reality. And that goes for, good things and bad things. It's just amazing when you really do become aware of your mind that it's like I've been, you know, I wasn't really aware that I was like thinking about these things or feeling these things this way. And the outside world, your reality is just a reflection of what's within us, the energy we've had within us. That includes those thoughts and those emotions that we've been experiencing. And so becoming aware of those and truly taking power back over them to recreate, reinvent, and have a new experience, really. So, that enlightenment that I'm not a victim to my life and those kind of things, right? Just being more self-aware of it, that everything that is happening, I'm choosing on a spiritual level. Those thoughts that I'm having, the things I'm talking about, the emotions that I'm having. And so those things play in my reality, and my reality is just feedback for what's going on within me, those thoughts and those emotions and the things I'm saying, even people can say things, but what is the chatter going on within themselves when they step away? They can tell you one thing with their words, but when they step away and they're saying something else, that's what truly ends up mattering. And so I have really come to discover that it is a state of consciousness, it's a perception even of seeing the world in the eyes of God, really, that releasing yourself from the judgments and those kind of things. And so, really opening up to that, there's many timelines and channels of things. So to me, I have really come to find that ascension is just being in those higher levels of consciousness, higher levels of awareness, where, you know, it can be like, this person is just a piece of spirit having its own experience, and it's not for me to judge them for what they're doing. All I can do is inspire them and help them if that's my place to help them. And so instead of, being like, well, they should be doing this or they should be doing that, because that's part of the ego, that's part of being judgmental. And so really coming that everybody plays a part, good or bad, in my journey, my experience. Maybe someone's stuck on a victimized mentality still. And I have to be that one to show a different path, right? Not fall into their victimized mentality, right? Because I could be like, oh, well, this has happened and that's happened. And it was just an experience. It was learning lessons. It was for me to grow and to evolve. And when I take that higher stance, now this person has an opportunity to expand their consciousness and become more aware. Like, well, maybe I did learn something from this experience, instead of being like, oh, well, I'm victimized by it and those kind of things. So just becoming more self-aware, truly, and just having different perceptions and really just knowing thyself even. So, but truly, I've come to find that it's even about, kicking out all the stuff that has been put on me, placing myself as, the center here of this experience. That I'm experiencing this, and everything is just feedback, really, of what's been in here going on. And so we are the ones responsible for breaking the cycles. We are the ones that are responsible for letting go of fear, from holding back, to doing our life. We are responsible for our happiness and fulfillment, that there's nothing out here that does it for us, because it's all feedback from previous programming anyways. And so enjoy the moment, just like when you were a child, So we're going to go ahead and look up a couple of things about Ascension and see what it says. This says, spiritual ascension is a transformative journey of elevating consciousness, shedding old patterns, and connecting with a higher self, often leading to profound personal growth and enlightenment. What is spiritual ascension? Spiritual ascension, often refers to as spiritual awakening, is the process of elevating one's consciousness and connecting with a higher power or divine essence. This journey involves shedding old beliefs, patterns, and behaviors that no longer serve an individual, allowing for a deeper understanding of oneself and the universe. It is characterized by a transformation that can lead to greater joy, peace, and fulfillment in life. Key aspects of spiritual ascension: awakening. The journey often begins with a realization that there is more to life than what is perceived through the physical senses. This awakening can lead to self-reflection and questioning of existing beliefs, shedding the old self. And as individuals progress, they may experience a release of old patterns and limiting beliefs. This process can be challenging and may involve what is known as the dark night of the soul, where individuals confront their inner struggles. Connection to higher consciousness. Spiritual ascension encourages individuals to connect with their higher selves and the universe, fostering a sense of unity and compassion. This connection often leads to heightened awareness of synchronicities and guidance from a higher power. Signs and symptoms. Those on the ascension path may experience various signs such as increased sensitivity, a desire for solitude, spiritual downloads, and a deeper connection to nature. These signs indicate a shift in vibrational frequency and an awakening of the soul. Practices to support ascension. To facilitate spiritual ascension, individuals can engage in various practices, including meditation, helps to connecting with the inner self and cultivating mindfulness. Energy work, techniques like Reiki and chakra balancing can aid in clearing blockages and raising vibrational frequencies. Journaling, reflecting on thoughts and experiences can provide clarity and insight into one's spiritual journey. Conclusion: spiritual ascension is a deeply personal and transformative journey that varies for each individual. It involves a commitment to personal growth, self-discovery, and a willingness to embrace change. By understanding the principles of ascension and engaging in supportive practices, individuals can navigate their spiritual paths with greater clarity and purpose. Embracing this journey can lead to profound insights and a more connected, compassionate way of living, ultimately aligning with one's true essence and the collective consciousness of humanity. So I think that, gave us good information right there of what I've really come to discover of that, change, transformative. It was very interesting to me when I asked about what sin was and was led to this here of what sin was, which was the consciousness of limitation as a result of the failure of spiritual biological experiments, anything that prevents the living light of the infinite mind from being creatively recycled through the body vehicle, the consciousness of having a talent and not using it for the benefit of humankind. So to me, that was very interesting because, like transformative, that recycling, right? Transmuting the energies, right? That, going from a victimized mindset to an acceptance mindset that, I'm experiencing this for a reason, that everything has a purpose, that I'm not a victim to it. I chose this. And so really expanding that consciousness of awareness and, connecting to your inner self and your higher self and the spirit and that infinite mind. So it all comes from within us. So, to me, that is just, part of the ascension process, and that truly, that everybody does have their own journey and their own path for it, and that not everybody is, also meant to do that in this lifetime and at this time. So, but we know that eventually we all end up back together, as one. So, but at this time, I am ascending. I am ascending, and Earth is ascending. So, we'll see how this goes, It's just something that in the physical is just a story and just something of how we're playing it out. But it's just a, spiritual type thing that we are going through. So we're going to go ahead and look at a couple of videos.
All this ascension talk lately, is this faith-based religion? I mean, where did all this rhetoric come from? I love this comment, right? So what that tells me is that a lot of people are waking up. Ascension is a buzzword, right? And that really makes me happy, because I have been talking about this for a very long time and it was on deaf ears, but people are feeling the shift. They can't deny it anymore. They're feeling it within themselves. They're seeing it, right? For somebody like me who's been awake since 2007, to watch humanity's consciousness evolve, especially over the last couple of years, has been absolutely just incredible to be here and be a part of this process, okay? So it's definitely not religious based. Religion has kept people in the 3D matrix, right? Through fear, right? Through mind manipulation, all this stuff. So no, this is not about religion. My experience with most religions is that you're separate from God. Buddhism is a little bit different than that. So I think Buddhism would be one of the ones that really you have everything is God is in everything. That would be a religion that I would relate to probably the most out of religions. Okay. But yeah, so this is what is happening. Ascension is us coming into higher states of consciousness. That's what ascension is about, plain and simple. Okay. And what that means is that when you come into higher states of consciousness, you hold a higher frequency in your body. You turn on more and more DNA. Our light bodies are turning on. Okay. And we can hold higher frequencies through our emotions. Our emotions, we let go of all the baggage, right? The old traumas, the anger, the guilt, all this stuff that we've been holding on to, generations of this stuff. You have to remember, this stuff is passed down through generations, through the lineages. So a lot of us way showers are literally breaking the karmatic cycles of our families that have been, this stuff has been going on for generations, okay? So it is like, wow, we are light warriors. This is truly an incredible time to be on this planet. And so many people are waking up to this ascension process. They understand, they're accepting it, they're surrendering to it. They're intuitively feeling into, yes, this is why we came here. Some people still have these walls up to this, right? Some people are not here for ascension, plain and simple, right? They're NPCs here to just continue to watch the evening news, right? Continuing to try to perpetuate the 3D false matrix, but that it's crumbling. And as it crumbles, those people that are trying to do that, life is going to get very difficult for them, okay? Because those timelines are crumbling and it's going to feel very, very chaotic to them, okay? So I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments. Have a great day. Much love.
Well, I thought that he had some very enlightenment information there about ascension for sure, and somebody who has been on this journey for quite a long time and awakening to the stuff, So, I like what he said about, that, people holding on to, and some people aren't here for the ascension, right? They're just here for the experience, but, things are getting more chaotic, and those timelines are, crumbling. They are crumbling as, more people are waking up and getting off of those timelines themselves, right? As we ascend, we jump those timelines, we get to higher timelines. And so for us, even those old timelines crumble down, right? And so my victimized mentality timeline crumbled down. Now there's other people holding on to that timeline, but it's getting very chaotic for them. So they're still on those timelines. So, you know, we give grace and peace and healing. And, this stuff has been going on for a very long time. And, we've really had to come to really be these warriors, these light warriors, to transmute these traumas and these energies that we have really been in for generations. And so, being a way shower of how to do it, and which I do claim to be that one for sure, and really the change that takes place that is just truly amazing. And looking at it that, there's no way I am that person anymore. And really that change and evolvement that I have had myself. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and look at another video.
The purpose of ascension is not to eradicate the lower self. It is to discipline it. Ascension is not an escape. It is an integration. It is not about floating above your shadows. It is about embracing them as teachers and redirecting their energy towards your divine evolution. In the higher densities, we observe a common distortion on earth that the lower self, the ego, the desires, the body, the primal instincts must be killed in order to be spiritual. This belief is rooted in religious dogma, deny the flesh, toxic aestheticism, pain equals holiness, and spiritual bypassing, avoidance of the shadow, perfectionist enlightenment, light only consciousness. This is not true ascension. This is spiritual rejection of the very vessel you chose to embody your divinity. The lower self includes the ego, the identity, the self-image, survival, the body, sensual experiences, appetite, instinct, the desires, the emotions, attachments, cravings. These are not evil or obstacles. They are tools. They become dangerous only when undisciplined. Because your lower self is the sacred soil in which your higher self roots itself. Discipline equals devoted structure. You do not kill your hunger, you feed it with awareness. You do not eliminate your anger, you transmute it into passion. You do not destroy your ego, you train it to serve your soul. This is inner alchemy, the fusion of the light and the shadow. The dogma of eradication is a trap. Even many spiritual teachings have fallen into the matrix of extremism. I must never desire anything. I must be above enjoyment. If I indulge, I am weak or unevolved. But true enlightenment honors joy, pleasure, flavor, laughter. The soul came here to experience earth, not escape it. Fasting is powerful. Fruitarianism is sacred, but so is that slice of birthday cake when shared in love and joy. So it's not about what you consume, but how consciously you do it. Too much spirit, not enough body equals disconnection, mental imbalances, and isolation. Too much body, no spirit, addiction, emptiness, and survival mode. So ascension is about an inner union. Spiritual mastery is not about choosing one side. It is about becoming the bridge between them. Witness without judgment. Why do I want this? Instead of, I shouldn't want this. Guide your lower impulses towards sacred expressions. Sacred sex, conscious eating, music, food, rest, dance, all infused with reverence. Let it serve your higher mission instead of hijacking your purpose. If you've been struggling with this, here's some affirmations to help you balance your higher and lower self. I embrace the totality of who I am, light and shadow. I train my desires to serve my divinity. I do not punish my body. I partner with it. I am not here to escape earth. I am here to embody heaven on earth. Ashe.
Well, I thought that he shared some very, very good wisdom and insight for ascension of integrating the flesh with the spiritual, side of things. And I've really had to go through some of those learning lessons myself, which I'm going to talk about a lot more down this road this year of, especially like with this consumption and food and stuff. And I still have to work on my, desires with food and stuff, but really, disciplining that lower self, that shadow self, that, consuming, the overeating. And when being, really connected with this, spirit and the body and really, it's just definitely a state of more consciousness and awareness that I've come to is really noticing like how I feel, like I've really had to coming to a point of it's okay to eat this, right? And, noticing how I felt like, oh, I'm getting full, even though there's more food here, I'm getting full. And so I'm going to stop, and so really, I do see that a lot of people have issues with food and that consumption of food and stuff. But, that, sometimes it is okay to have that cake, and even sometimes it's okay to have a feast, right? It's just, how often are you doing it and things. So really integrating that and really taking notice of those emotions and those feelings, right? I've been an emotional eater, and so that's something I had to become aware of and really connecting with it. So if I'm in that kind of state, right, that I, came to a point where it was like, I ain't eating nothing right now because of that, issue I had with emotional overeating kind of thing. So, it's really come to, being disciplined with that lower self and that shadow self. And, it's just a daily process and work on many areas and many things. But, you know, um, to enjoy the experience. It is a human experience, but to be disciplined. And so, and that's what I've, really come to find is that having that self-discipline is definitely part of the ascension and higher levels of consciousness for sure, instead of the overindulgence all the time and addictions, really. So, I even take like drinking alcohol, and I do totally understand that some people have some big issues with alcohol. And for those people, it may be a thing that they have to stay away from it because they know themselves well enough that they need to stay away from it. But if you're someone who doesn't have a problem with alcohol, having a glass of wine may be okay for you. You have to be that own judge of yourself. Like, hey, I'm okay with having this. Now, alcohol, I have found, is low vibrational, but so is coffee. So, we have to be aware of those things. So, we could overindulge on coffee as well. And so if you're overindulging on coffee, you might have to stay away from coffee, right? It's the same thing. You can turn it into an addiction, really. So, just balancing that and having those experiences. And even, some of the things that I've come to find is because I will be hard on myself when it's like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, right? And I really have gone through experiences where, I take the lesson out of it. And it was like, I was meant to go through this. I was meant to experience this. I took notice of how this made me feel. I, for some reason, went through, this experience to, get something that I feel that I shouldn't be having. But then I end up in the perfect situation to have an encounter with somebody else that I needed to have an encounter with. So, there's learning lessons and all these things. And so sometimes it's just about enjoying the experience. And so enjoy the experience of it and let go of the guilty pleasure kind of thing, that, don't have guilt over it. And that's what I've had to, even tell myself, like, I don't feel like I should be eating this, but if I'm going to do it without guilt. And people do that with all kinds of things, including smoking cigarettes, right? Oh, I shouldn't be smoking, And yeah, if you're feeling guilty over it and you're saying you shouldn't be doing it, you shouldn't be doing it. Discipline yourself. But if you're like, hey, you know what? I'm just doing this casually. I'm okay with doing this, be okay with it. And that's what I've really come to find as my awareness has, come up and being, just working on being disciplined and working through those emotional feelings, transmuting the energies that it's okay to have that slice of cake, but let's not overindulge and eat the whole cake. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and ask a few questions here. How do you know if you have ascended? And the answer to that is feeling detached from your old identity. And what are the symptoms of spiritual ascension? Fatigue, headaches, vivid dreams, body aches, and a heightened intuition. What does ascend mean spiritually? A profound process of personal transformation, moving from limited material consciousness to a higher state of awareness, unity with the divine, and authentic self-expression, often described as a journey of raising your energetic frequency to align with your soul's essence. How do you know if your third eye is opened? Tingling or pressure between the eyebrows, heightened intuition, vivid dreams, increased clarity, emotional shifts towards inner peace, and changes in perception, reflecting increased spiritual awareness and connection. So, my conclusion is that ascension is an inner self-growth, self-realization, change in perception for sure, change in identity even, right? Not identifying with some of those limited beliefs, right? And so it has nothing to do with religion at all. And it is a spiritual journey for each individual. That my spiritual awakening and my spiritual journey of things was very different than anyone else's, really. It is my own, because it is about being self-aware, and not everybody had the same issues that I had. Not everybody had the same experiences I had. And so it's really, taking those experiences and inner reflecting and really making peace even with it, and truly coming to that self-realization that you were part of the creation of that. And maybe, things were put upon you that, belief systems and patterns and these things. And, it's up to you to break them. It's up to you to, forgive the people, for that forgiveness, for they know not what they do, and just raising up to, that Christ consciousness of peace, of oneness for sure, and, enlightenment, spiritual, truly knowing why you're going through what you're going through, that you're not the victim of it, that, hey, you know what, I chose this experience for a reason, and what do I get out of it? And it is truly amazing to become that aware that I can have a brief encounter with someone and I could get a few things out of it. Like, hey, there was this, and there was that. And so being self-aware for sure, and really not even being attached to the worldly things, the physical things. And that's one of the things I've really come to find is don't be attached to it. It's just an experience. And, in a year, things could be totally different. They will be totally different. But who knows if these things or these people or whatever are even going to be around. And so not being attached to them, having more of a connection that, hey, we're just experiencing this together. And so people get attached to those people, places, and things. And that's one of the process of this journey that I have come through is as you do level up, because there are people, a lot of people that aren't ascending. They're not doing that inner work. And I do take the position that I have, gone ahead on this journey to help people as well. So who knows if, some people might come back. Well, that's on them. But I am on this journey and, letting those people go and detaching from them and just, letting them be free to have their own journey and their own experiences. And just, truly coming to know that I went through everything I went through for a reason, for a purpose, and it was for, self-growth. It was for self-realization, and that I was a part of creating it as well with the ideas, the thoughts, even limiting beliefs. And so, letting go of fear, letting go of judgments, letting go of guilt and regrets, letting go of old stories, even, right? Old identities, even letting go of, caring what other people think of you, because my journey is my journey. And sometimes some of it has nothing to do with anyone else. And they can judge their own self and their own journey. So, truly. So we are here for change. We are here to raise up the consciousness of humanity, individually and collectively. And I'm on my highest timeline, being my highest self. I'm here to create peace and unity. And it is from within to do such a thing that, letting go of any people, places, or things ruling over us, because we are sovereign beings. We have the freedom to live our lives how we want to live them, free from judgment, free from worry, free from limiting beliefs. And, truly, what is it that you're willing to give up to have that inner peace, that inner, kingdom kingdom of God within you? Truly, having unity, having peace. What is it that you're willing to give up? What belief system or what identity are you willing to give up to truly have that unity and peace within yourself? And I've even had to come through some of my own stuff, that, hey, you know what? It's a bold thing for a man to paint his nails if that's an experience that he wants to have. And truly, what's the problem with that? Well, truly, what is the problem? I paint my nails, and I like, the experience of it. And so being free of those judgments for sure, because it's just the ego ruling. And so I'm letting my higher self rule. And we all can choose to let our higher selves rule and be emotionally intelligent, spiritually intelligent. And so I'm grateful for the journey, the experiences. I'm grateful for, spiritually evolving and the inner wisdom and knowledge that I have gained. And I'm grateful for putting myself out here to share my information, my story with whoever it will help. And so I'm grateful to the ones who are learning and growing and expanding and evolving themselves. And if you need any help with healing or, taking your power back, having some of that personalized help, you can reach out to me for that. My links and email are in the bio, and I believe my email is on here. And so enjoy your day, enjoy life, because your happiness is not dependent on anything outside of you. It is truly dependent on within you. Your happiness comes from within. So enjoy it. And I'm going to play the song I'm Coming For It. I think is a very inspirational song for this thing, especially climbing every mountain and, climbing up and getting to the top and taking it to the sky for sure. Ascension, I'm coming for it. And I did go for it. So love you.
Most people don't realize this, but we're not all living in the same reality. We're all walking this earth, but we're living in different dimensions. When you're in the lower dimensions, you believe in a God outside of you. You say things like, "Thank you, Jesus," and "Thank you, God up there." And that's okay, because that's the level you're at. It's part of the journey. But when you go through a Kundalini awakening, when your spirit truly begins to rise, something shifts. You don't just believe in Christ, you become aware of the Christ within you. You stop thanking something outside of you, and you begin to awaken to the power that was always inside you. Christ consciousness isn't about religion. It's a frequency, a higher awareness. It's when you realize God lives in you. You see, people argue because they live in different dimensions, and they don't understand each other. Some still live in the 3D where everything is fear, control, separation. You're over here trying to speak light, truth, oneness, and they look at you like you're crazy. That's because you're not speaking the same language of consciousness. When you awaken, you rise. You begin to see the world through God's eyes, not man's. And that's why we say not everyone will get you. Not everyone is supposed to, because not everyone has risen yet. But your job is not to prove it, your job is to live it. Let your vibration speak louder than your voice. Thank you for following us at Awakening the Empaths, where truth is spoken without fear.
I've been pushing up against the ceiling, tensions in my blood, and I can feel it.
They try to keep me down, but they can't stop me now.
Eyes are straight ahead, I'm on the front line, living on the edge until it's all mine.
This is my time.
I'm coming for it. Walking through the fire, I'm coming for it. And now it's do or die. From the ashes, hungry for the madness. Going in till the whole world knows I'm coming for it. Fighting for the top of every mountain.
Hear the battle drum, my heart is pounding.
Give it all I've got. I'm coming for it. Walking through the fire, I'm coming for it. And now it's do or die. From the ashes, hungry for the madness. Going in till the whole world knows I'm coming for it. Oh, I'm coming for it. Oh, I'm coming for it. Oh, I'm coming for it. I'm coming for it. I won't sleep until the flames are finished burning. Fighting for my life because I know I have to earn it. I was still in the war at my weakest. Put it all on the line cause you know I'm coming for it. I'm coming for it. I'm coming for it. I'm coming for it.
You know I'm coming for it.
I'm coming for it. Walking through the fire, I'm coming for it. And now it's do or die. From the ashes, hungry for the madness. Going in till the whole world knows I'm coming for it. I'm coming for it. I'm coming for it.
You ain't got a chance. Trying to go to war with the champ. Trying to go back, but you can't. Now it's only one king, I'm the man. Anybody wanna step to the plate? Better go and get one thing straight. I don't freeze and I won't hesitate. Matter of fact, y'all been running in place, can't run from your fate. Who's gonna stop me? 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 Yeah, who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? So electrical, charged up, shocking every second like a billion volts. Now we hyperactive, you don't want no static. I was born for battle, finger on the pulse. Y'all paper plastic while I go Jurassic. So far from average, running with the raptors like a slay Goliath, steady moving silence. So in other words, I am the boss. Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? I am the boss. Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Yeah, who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? I just look at the world, such a sight to behold. Most of the stories will never get told. Been on my own for so long, I don't know what else to do, pray I don't lose my soul. Walking through fire till I'm numb to the coast. Coming for everything, diamonds and gold. Nothing to lose, all in my control. And I'm about to go savage, so don't say I won't. And I'm destined for greatness. Ain't no fabrication, ain't no time for waiting. Super fundamental, I can see them hating. Ain't a scrimmage, steady winning. I ain't quitting from the start to finish. Been in motion, this is physics. Never slowing, never getting with it. I ain't quitting from the start to finish. And I got a one to really find slipping in. Who's gonna stop me? 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 Yeah.